All right, folks, here it is, the granddaddy of them all this weekend, the Toyo Classic six-figure race payout for the Spec Miata race. Compliments of our friends at Toyo Tires. The pole sitter for this race, young Matthew Dirks, and then young Nick Summers right beside him. Then Danny Stain, Austin Newmark, P4. Next row, Brian Henderson, Peter Inzer. Next row, Todd Burris, Trevor McCallion, then Graham Downey and Brian Zurich. Harry Voigt, then Taylor Ferranti. Alex Alexander, Stephen Zhu, Blake Clements, Brett Gabriel, Jim Drago, Justin Krickenberger, Adam Roberts. 20th position is Tyler Quantz, then Craig Berry, Justin Casey, Dan McKeever, Chris Haldeman, Danny Sufi. Then we've got Greg Porter, Stephen Power, Preston Pardis, Daniel Williams, P30, that's Hannah Grisham.
So many familiar names, John, and so many who used to have that TMC next to them, and they're all growed up now. Okay, moving on from 30th place, Toby Linder in 31st, Craig Jansen, Taylor Hagler, John Somner, Alan Stubblefield, Paul Perkins, Philip McCammon, Jason Knoll, Gail Corley, Brian Smith in 40th place. 41st, Lonnie Unzer, followed by Carter J. White, Cole Serralo TMC, Lee Thomas, Chris Kapitsky, Jamie Close, honoring George Clough Jr. In 46th place, Jesse T. Singer, Mike Travers in 48th, Danny Suter 49th, and rounding out the top 50, Mikhail Haddad, Mikhail. Vinny Barata in 51st, Eric Nemnich, Ben Rail, James Holloway, David L. Henderson Jr., Mario Jacobellis, Ryan Robertson, Dennis Holloway, Christopher Schaefer, and 60th position, rounding out our field, is Charlie Williams.
Now, I've been looking for some guy named Larry, but I can't see a single Larry in the field.
Oh, you didn't know, John? Their name is all Larry.
Oh, a bunch of Larrys. There it is. Okay, folks, looks like the grid got a little bit accordioned up there. You can see that everybody got a little too bunched up.
Yeah,
they
that's
are starting to untangle there. Everyone got a little too enthusiastic, and now they're getting back apart there. So we will have a one-wave flying start. I believe it is just one lap. There won't be a sighting lap or anything. Looks like, knock on wood, we've got some good weather. Tracks dried out. We had a great race just now. So hopefully the weather holds and we get our full 45 minutes in for this Toyo Classic. Looks like we are surrounded by storms, but looks like it is going to hold off for the Toyo Classic, but it may give us a little bit of excitement, compliments of Mother Nature, as we start our race for all the beans. This is the big one.
Yeah, John, I mean, the weather forecasting is just coming down to the minute now.
Yeah,
Talk about, you know, we're at a Formula One track. I wonder if we have some Formula One engineers hired for looking at the weather. Because, I mean, these guys, the decision to run out there on wets or dries is really going to come down to who wins this thing.
No doubt. Well, I mean, it's choose the wet setup, the dry setup. It's a big bunch of variables, and these cars don't have a lot of modifications, or not modifications, but adjustments you can make. So I think it's all up to the driver. We're going to see what happens. So,
well, and with how dry it is right now, I really doubt that anybody's actually gone out on a wet setup.
They're all on dry setup.
You know, do you think
Guaranteed.
we could see a pit stop in this race? It's
No.
45 minutes
Nope.
long.
Nope.
Probably not enough time to make it happen.
Not enough time. They don't have air jacks, and they don't have a Formula One pit crews. They just have Cousin Bob and his impact wrench. So,
you know, John, electric impact wrenches have come so far in recent years. I mean, I used mine at a drift event the other day, and I mean, I just had my 14-inch spares off so quickly, just went grrr, and came right off. You know, I don't know if I could do a tire change in under 5 minutes, though.
Looks like we have our drone up, folks, for this start. Field starting to come into around the famous tower. Some folks often refer to it as the mullet.
The Texas mullet.
But it is a very cool 20-story tower that gives you a great view. Field coming around now. We will see them into 19 and 20. And then Matthew Dirks will set the pace, and we will be off and running for the Toyo Classic here at the 2018 NASA Championships presented by Toyo Tires. Getting ready to start for the richest payout in amateur racing right now, unheard of.
How composed there, John. Looking like a nice field so far.
Give him time.
Right.
So, do you want to have a little bet? Everybody gets through the first turn clean?
I would not take that bet in a million years, John.
Well, bent fenders and hurt feelings. We're hoping for the best. Young Matthew Dirks is bringing him to the line. That's quite an accomplishment for that young man. Very proud of him.
Well, he is about to have his work cut out of him to
Here
hold that
here we
position.
go, here we go. Watch for that flag. It is steady right now.
And there goes the composure.
Wave, wave, wave. We're green. Jeez, we are 8 wide, and look at them all spread out. That was like turning on the lights, and all the cockroaches are running for different corners. They are 8 wide in some places.
Whoa.
Coming into the entrance lane. Holy smokes. Look at all those Miatas. They're all getting through there.
And it
Oh
looked
my
like
gosh.
Danny Stain with the hole shot there, John.
Big
It looked
time
like
hole
the
shot.
orange and blue car of Danny Stain way out front there.
Dude,
oh, my God.
They're through turn 1 clean.
Oh,
Shut the front door.
I don't know. Well, that one car was pretty far
Oh, look,
off.
but we have a bunch of cars off in 3. I spoke too soon.
Yeah, I mean, they continued
Whoa.
on at, in their 8 wide
Yeah,
fashion.
we can see from our drone shot, there's 3 cars off right now. Hopefully they all restart, can rejoin. Oh, more cars off.
I don't know
shit.
if they realized that the track kind of funneled down when they went into turn 1 there. They
I
all
don't
were
know.
so wide. They were way, talk about over the painted lines. I mean, they were off in the gravel trying to still race there. And then, of course, they're coming through this corner and with the yellow flag waving. Do you think there's any way that they're actually able to see passes under yellow during that? I mean, that is
Sure.
just
Absolutely.
tough to see.
All right, we did lose our turn 9 camera just briefly. We're working to bring it back up. We will see turn 11 here, waiting for our leaders to come through. Jeff speculated that was Danny Stain with the hole shot. There's Stain out in front. We can see him right there. Everybody's still right together. Remember, it's a 45-minute race, but man, look at all these cars just packed right in there.
Yeah, these guys are driving like it's a 5-minute race, John.
Well, it's a lot of money, Jeff. All right, we're going to switch over to turn 12 pretty quick, see what's going on there. Watch the field coming around. This time we only have 1 wave to follow. All right, we're watching and seeing if Danny Stain is still out front.
On that turn 12 shot, you can really see the weather out there looming. But
Yup.
right here, it's still dry. It's very warm out there.
Danny
the
Stain
pavement
is no longer in
dry as a
front.
bone. Yeah, it looks like he's been overtaken there, but by who?
Jeez, look at all these cars. That is amazing that they're staying together and staying relatively clean. But I have to wonder, are the race directors going to penalize anyone for going over that line into that painted section? That's going to be the discussion in the not in the tech shed, in the control booth, and then later on the tech shed. Oh, big spin. Let's go back to that camera that we were just on. Had a big spin and some collections there through 15. Drone cam following our leaders around right now, coming towards the backside of the course into 19 here in a minute.
Looks like our leaders are through 19. If we go
Through
to the turn 20 shot.
Turn 20 right now.
Here we go. Danny Stain's still in second place.
Second
Let's see
place.
who's first and third
It's a
here.
little hard for us to
Todd
catch
Burris. Todd Burris, the 156 car,
Burris
up in
7
first place.
positions.
Brian
Todd
Henderson
Burris.
in third. Matthew Dirks in fourth place. Graham Downey, look at that, up into 5th place. Austin Newmark,
Very
6th.
nice.
Blake Clemens in 7th.
Look
Haldeman
at all of these
in
cars.
8th.
Wow, Todd Burris with a strong performance. Danny Stain hanging tough. Top about 7, starting to mount a little bit of a breakaway, but not too much yet.
And we have some major charging going on here, John. Chris Kapitsky up 24 positions. John Somner up 14. Jason Cannoli up 20. Toby Linder up 17. Danny Sufi 12 positions. Preston Pardis and Justin Casey both up over 10 positions each. Christopher Haldeman up 15 positions. I mean, these guys, it is just such a shakeup out there with 60 cars on track.
They're moving out.
Wow.
1 lap complete now. 9 minutes a lap. Oh, another car out, another waving yellow. Good Lord.
Yeah, that turn 5 flagger is going to have a sore arm by the end of this race.
No doubt. More waves than a football game right now from the flaggers. Field now coming through. Looks like we're waiting for them to. They're into turn 12 right now. It looks like our leaders just through there, watching them to come into 15. Again, Todd Burris was out in front of Danny Stain. But the top 5, all with, actually the top 6, no, top 7, all within 1 second of each other. Blake Clements also there in that top group with Austin Newmark, Chris Haldeman right there, Justin Krickenberger. Field right now into 12. Looks like Burris is still out front, staying right behind him with Henderson and Dirks right there. Another car going wide. Looks like folks are getting pushed wide and also just selecting wide. But I'm not sure if it's an advantage or not, because you do lose a little time when you come back onto the course. You're actually putting in more. So it looks like we do have a rollback in that shot, one of our tow trucks.
So we're looking at the turn 15 shot right now, John, which means we're starting to get close to the end of the lap here. There's turn 16, 17 as they go through with the drone shot.
Beautiful shot right there.
And it looked like, so the red car that's up towards the front there, that is Graham Downey, up 5 positions into 5th place right now. I'll have to see. It looks like he was trying to make a move on Matt Dirks in 4th place.
Top 5 mounting a little bit of a breakaway. You see them
look at
coming
that.
into
They're
turn 20.
still duking it out.
Yep, top 5 starting to get some daylight between the rest of them. Let's see if they work together. That's Burris, Stain, Henderson, Dirks, and Clements. Then there's a 2-second gap back to Christopher Haldeman. You can see it right there. Looks like Stain's going to try an inside pass on Burris. Coming up the front, took a look, came back in. So they're trying different lines out as they come through. Leaders through turn 1 clean. You can see that gap maybe is narrowed up a little bit. Then the next probably 5 to 10 cars are all right together, nose to tail. Waving yellow flag here. There shouldn't be any passing. So we are covering a car right now that is in that turn 3 area.
John, I want to correct myself here. That 4th place red car, that is Matthew Dirks. That is not Graham Downey. Graham Downey slipped back to 9th place. Justin Krickenberger up 10 positions up into 8th place. I mean, just the hard charger award here, it's going to be somebody who gained more than 30 positions by the end of this, John.
Well, Haldeman's up 17 positions to break into the top 6. Scrolling down, Chris Kapitsky's up 25 positions.
Yeah, I think he's our hard charger so far.
And there's cash involved for the hard charger.
Oh, is there?
There is definitely cash involved. Looks like McCallion, Ferrante, Ju, Alexander, Roberts, and Thomas are all out, unfortunately. So we still have the top about 55 running. Turn 3, we're extracting a car there with a lot, looks like a good deal of damage, so that will clear up pretty soon.
And that's car number 2-1 there, John. That's Alex Alexander.
Yeah, bummer. Looks like he's out of the car. He's safe, so that's the best you can hope for. Unfortunately, his race is over. He's out of the money for the Toyo Classic, but we still have quite a lot of time left. About
Hey, look at that.
Minutes.
Danny Stain retaking the lead into our turn 12 camera there.
So next time across the line, Danny Stain will be in the lead. Looks like we have 3 tows going on at the same time coming over the control frequency. So
Here's
a lot of
15.
cars out, and they're trying to clear them as quickly as they can. Stain is out in front. You just saw there with the beautiful orange Miata of Danny Stain out of Florida. Pro photographer, great guy, world traveler. Great to see Danny out there doing some work. Field right now all filtering through your turn 15 camera. We'll watch them into 19 and then 20 and then back onto the front straight. And we'll be able to get a little more accurate count of the running order. Lots of cars out there and lots of things happening.
All right, here we go through turn 20. And we've got an excellent drone cam set up here. Looks like for the start-finish line. If we switch to that, we'll see the cars coming by. Here we go. Look at that gorgeous shot there. And Danny Stain in the lead, followed by Brian Henderson. Todd Burris now back to 3rd place. Blake Clemens in 4th. And look at that, Christopher Haldeman taking over the fastest lap of the event so far, 2:44.044, and he's up 18 spots.
Haldeman does call Texas home, so this is probably kind of his home track, and he is tearing it up. Fast lap of the race so far does belong to Christopher Haldeman, a 2:44.044.
Wow, and that's by a lot, too, John. That's a second and a half faster than the previous best. You know, as a matter of fact, Blake Clemens set the other fastest time. It was on the previous lap, which was a 2:45.244. So, I mean, yeah, over a second faster than our fastest so far. My goodness.
Well, it is a barn burner here at the Circuit of the Americas for the Toyo Classic, living up to its name. Classic race here, lots of things happening around the track. The Circuit of the Americas crew doing an outstanding job to keep the track clear and green and keep our drivers safe. Big credit to them. Heck of a race, kids. 14 minutes elapsed, 15 minutes about, 30 minutes remaining. Current pace, that should be another 10 to 12 laps, so very far from over.
Yeah, and you're right, John. The COTA safety crew is just doing an amazing job scooping these cars up, getting them on the rollback and back into the back paddock area without pretty much not affecting the race whatsoever. They're doing a fantastic job. We can see a little bit of recovery going on there, and that was in turn 3. We just saw another one go into the pit lane in turn 19. Oh, and it looks like we're looking at a dead car out there off driver's right there in turn 12, and the leaders coming through. Looks like our positions are still the same there. Matt Dirks is sort of dropping back a little bit there. 2 seconds, it looks like, from the leader. No, I think that gap has increased since the last time they came by, because this last time they came by, they were all within a second of each other. When we saw in the camera there, it did look like Matthew Dirks had broken away there. The top 5 had broken away a bit from Matthew Dirks. Haldeman just still working on it. Car number 73 up 18 positions. See where he falls when they come across the line next time.
And that is worth some cash in this big contingency package if you are a hard charger, I believe. There are also awards for different things throughout the pack, not just the win, but that win is worth, if I'm correct, in the neighborhood of $70,000.
Whew.
They're doing it for the money and for the fun, but mostly for the money. God rest you, Bandit Burt Reynolds. All right, there's that drone shot again. Leaders now. I think the leaders are catching the back of the field. Oy vey. That's going to be a little something. There's Danny Stain. I think Henderson
looks like
just
Henderson
went around the inside of Danny Stain. Let's pick him up in 3. Of course, that's a yellow zone because there's a safety car working. They can't pass in 3. Can't really see much because they are loading that one car up. Waving yellow flag there. Let's go to 5 and 6 and see if we can see if Brian Henderson made that stick.
Oh, nope. It looks like Danny Stain back in front, but that was a great move by Henderson.
Well, top 4 or 5, big breakaway, 1 back, then another 5, breakaway, 2, 3, 4, then a big gap back to probably the next big field of cars. But, man, I tell you what a race. Now, all we need, Jeff, is a little excitement. Let's have some rain for the last lap.
Right. In the form of a little slight sprinkling from above?
No. I'm pretty cool with just it being a dry race, but, I always like to see a little excitement. All right, Danny Stain still out in front. That top 5 going after each other. That is a classic battle. That is Ali and Frazier right there.
Yeah, John, even without extra excitement.
Frazier and Frazier.
Even without the excitement added by a little bit of precipitation out there, this is far from boring, John. Look at the last times that the top 5 drivers turned in. Look at that, 244.966, 244.949, 244.815, and 244.903. Almost identical times all the way across the top 4 there. And then, of course, our 5th place driver, Chris Haldeman, still holding the record for the race here, 244.044. So the other drivers have broken down into the 244s. We'll see. Chris Haldeman is still going to continue to try to pass these guys. See if he can break his way on into the podium. That would be pretty exciting, too, for Haldeman to get, pass over 20 cars on his way to a podium finish.
Pretty cool, and we are getting some reports of passing under yellow in different places on the track. None of our leaders right now are guilty of that offense, but that is going to result in a position change for some of these drivers later on. Looks like car number 53 was smoking for a bit and now done blowed up at turn 4. So car 53, it's got to scroll a little bit.
Yeah, that's Brian Smith down there in 45th position, so I don't think that it hasn't kicked in on the timing yet that he's out.
Here's your drone shot showing the field coming around here. We're going to look for them to come across the line again. Leaders across the line right now. Stain out in front, then Henderson, Burris, Haldeman, Blake Clements, Matthew Dirks, Justin Krickenberger, Justin Casey, Preston Pardis, Austin Newmark. That's your top 10 in the Toyo Classic right now. Looks like from Clements back to Dirks is a 2.5 second gap, then another 1.4 seconds or so back to Justin Krickenberger.
It looks like Chris Kapitsky in 21st position is still our hard charger here, John, making up 24 positions so far during this race, but he hasn't progressed on past that very much. We'll have to see if he's got more to give here or if that is going to do it for Mr. Kapitsky. Looking down the line, it looks like we've got a few more out than we had before. Lee Thomas, Adam Roberts, Alex Alexander, Taylor Ferranti, Danny Sufi, Trevor McCallion, and Brian Smith. Looks like maybe Dennis Holloway, Stephen Jew.
Ooh, big spin right there just off camera.
Oh.
Right on turn 3, there was a big spin. Don't think they collected anything thanks to these fantastically large runoff areas, but it is a waving yellow. So maybe they were not able to continue. About 20 minutes gone, 24 or so minutes remaining, running at a almost 3-minute lap time, probably another 7 laps left. Working lap 6 right now, 5 laps complete here at the Toyo Classic. Again, the richest payout in amateur racing, I'm going to say ever. Compliments of Toyo Tires, our friend Mark Sanzenbacher, Toyo's senior manager for motorsports, making it happen. Danny Stain still out in front, but the leaders are starting to shake it up a little bit. Looks like there may have been a bobble.
You know, I think that was Todd Burris moving up there a little bit. Also, Christopher Haldeman, the last time by, and we're about to see an update on this, but he is up into 4th place. So Haldeman doing work out there.
Doing work.
Going for green, even though he's going to see checker first.
Well, going for long green. Going for serious buy me a new dually green.
Right.
Cash.
We're waiting to see them click off for the timer here. Oh, you know what? I mistook that turn for turn 20. Some of these turns look pretty similar out here, but it looks like we're following them through turn 15 now, which means they've got a few turns left before they get to that start-finish line.
There's 19.
Now, here we go, 19.
Burris
See, now,
all over Stain.
I think that black car just might be Haldeman, and if that's the case,
is Haldeman.
Yeah, then that means he's into 3rd place then.
Turn 20, here they come. Haldeman up into 3rd. Top 5 still significantly ahead. Yep, you were right.
And look at that, another fastest lap, 2:43.993. Now, it's not the fastest Spec Miata time we've seen
Burris
all weekend.
looking to the outside. Now looking to the inside of Danny Stain. Haldeman staying in there, seeing what those guys are going to do. Burris loosened up a little bit into the braking zone. Haldeman's right behind him. Let's watch into turn 3. What's going to happen in 3? Let's go to 3. This is going to be significant. Haldeman is all over the back bumper of Todd Burris, and Todd tried an inside look on Danny Stain.
Oh, it looked like Todd was bumping back and forth between Haldeman and Stain. I mean, Haldeman's bumping him, and then he almost tried to take that momentum around Danny Stain and ended up just giving him a little bump. So, you know, this is a Miata game is a lot of bump drafting.
Well, but there's an element of work together. Hey, top 5. Let's go ahead.
Here we go, John. It looks like Haldeman might be making a move on the outside of Burris there. We'll have to see into the next corner if he made it stick. That was into turn 9. We're looking over towards turn 11 now. It'll be our next camera shot.
What's going to happen? Remember, Stain is the orange car out front. Burris is silver. Haldeman's car is black. So we're going to watch turn 11. We are waiting for our leaders to come through there. Have a little bit of blind spot. Stain out in front, then Burris, then Haldeman.
Yeah, looks like Haldeman
all together.
Hasn't made it
then
stick
Henderson,
yet.
then Blake Clemens. And that same about 4-second gap back to the next group of cars. Exciting stuff, folks. We're going to look at turn 12 now, see what happens when they get there. So again, this is the one where we saw a little bobble and getting out in the paint a little bit. So once again, we are watching to see what's going to happen with those top 3. And then the next 2, Henderson and Clemens.
There we go.
Here we go.
And look at that, Stain in 3rd, Burris in 1st,
third.
and Haldeman in 2nd.
Dang, that's a big shakeup.
That is. Well, it looks like Haldeman and Burris got their way around Danny Stain, but you know, John, that's not. that just might not stick. I mean, this is a big.
We still have a good 20 minutes.
They are shaking and baking here.
Yeah, we got a good, probably 6 laps left at least.
Here we go. Now it looked as though Brian Henderson might have been looking at the backside of Danny Stain there, maybe looking around the outside.
All right, well, a lot of excitement so far in the Toyo Classic. 6 laps complete, working lap 7. About 25 minutes in, 45 minutes scheduled total time. There they are again. Looks like Haldeman may be out front. I think Haldeman passed Burris.
It does appear so. Now, wait,
Here we go.
Oh, there he is.
Burris is back out in front. Then Haldeman, then Stain. Then it looks like it's still Henderson and Clemens. Good Lord.
By 400ths of a second, John. That's the gap between Burris and Haldeman, which means in reality they are side by
let's watch
side.
him down the front straight. Here we go.
And look at Danny Stain going back behind him. And which
Danny
one is he
Stain's
going to go
way
around?
Inside. Tried the far inside line. that almost opened it up for Henderson to get through there. They're trying everything. So it's go time. The gloves just came off. Or the gloves just got put on, and it's time to start Mike Tyson's punch-out right here. It's going to get serious at that top 5, folks. Lots of money on the line, lots of pride.
John, ears will be bitten.
Ears will be bitten, tattoos will be inked on the cheek. What a race, folks.
Danny Stain back down to 3rd place now.
Well, if I know Danny, not for long. Oh, but look.
No, they're starting to pull a gap on it just a little bit. You know, I mean, it's been
Burris
7 laps now.
gapping
Danny
it.
Stain had a great hole shot on these guys. He managed to sneak his way out front. Looking at his lap times, though, 2:45.839, 2:45.059 for Haldeman, and 2:45.326 for Burris. So the other two do have the lap time advantage just by a teeny tiny little bit there.
Totally awesome. Turn
I
11
know Danny
now
Stain
is
is
what
not
we're
going to give
watching.
up.
Phew. Wow. All 5 in the same order for now. We'll switch over to turn 12, see what happens with those leaders. They should be coming through there any minute. We'll see if Haldeman and Burris. This is an area where stuff has been happening. We've seen passes that happen between 11 and 12. So we'll see if we have another little shake-up here. See, the wind is starting to pick up a little bit. Weather all around us, but still clear and perfect track conditions. Ooh, Burris is loose and off.
Whoa,
he's way off.
Way out of there.
Oh, yeah, he lost the rear end and got way loose.
You know, it looks like he might have been passed by the 2 people behind
Sure
Haldeman and Stain as well. So, I mean, Burris might be back in 5th or 6th place now.
He got freight trained right there.
It is quite possible.
Gosh, one little mistake. One little mistake. Wow. So there they are. Yeah, no, I think he got shuffled pretty far back.
Well, that looked like Stain's still in 3rd place, John. So we're going to have to see when they come around turn 19 just exactly where they're located out there. But yeah, I mean, what an exciting race so far.
All right, so we'll watch for turn 19 next to see what happened with our top 5 there. They're giving us a great show.
Yes,
Looks like
look,
it's
Danny
Haldeman.
Stain's still there. Looks like
Haldeman's
Haldeman in the
out
lead.
front. I think Burris may have shuffled back to 4th, though, and Henderson is now.
Right, it might be Henderson.
They both have silver cars, and
they're
they
very
swap.
similar, yeah.
So I think Henderson's going to pick up the 2nd position, then Stain, then Burris, then Blake Clements. I think that's going to be the order. Nope, Henderson is there. Burris got back into 2nd. So maybe Henderson had passed, and he was the one that had the big off. Nonetheless, here they come into the first corner. Christopher Haldeman now out in front. Todd Burris taking a look down inside, then Danny Stain. Brian Henderson and Blake Clements right there, top 5. Gap is decreasing back to Preston Pardus in P6 now. About 3 seconds behind this main group of 5. That group of 4 right there for the next 4 positions. All very, very close.
So, John, we've been talking a lot about the top 5 here. I'm going to go ahead and list off a few of the cars up here from the top 5. So, in 6th place, Preston Pardus is right there. 7th place, Justin Krickenberger. Peter Enzer in 8th. Justin Casey 9th. Matthew Dirks in 10th place now. Craig Berry in 11th. Graham Downey slipped back to 12th place. Austin Newmark 13th. Toby Linder in 14th. Greg C. Porter in 15th, followed by James Drago, Nick Summers, Brian Zurich, Stephen Powers, and Jason Cannoli, rounding out your top 20. Still lots of time left in this race. 30 minutes elapsed, or 29 to be exact. So just about 15 minutes left. That's going to...
Leaders in turn 11 right now. Looks like Haldeman is still out front, then Burris and Stain, Henderson and Clements. That next group, led by Preston Pardus, is starting to catch up. So we've got about 15 minutes left. The current pace, that's probably about another 4 laps, I would estimate. So it is time to get it done. When that white flag comes out, you are going to see some bumper music for sure. But boy, I'm really impressed by those top 5, how clean they have been this entire race. That's really impressive to see. All right, now we're watching for leaders to come into turn 19. There they are. Haldeman out front. Burris trying to move outside. Looks like Blake Clements is falling back a little bit, and Pardis is starting to gain on Blake Clements. So that's something to watch. Turn 20 still. Yeah, I think Blake is starting to fade a little bit. And that next group is starting to come back. It looks like that may have been Peter Ensor trying for a pass on Justin Krickenberger. Up the front straight again. Haldeman out in front. Let's see if anyone tries a move here. Nope. Ducks in a row. Everybody driving the proper school line. No contact. Very clean driving. Very heads up. But that last lap, I think you're going to see some fireworks, and I'm not talking about the sort that you see at the 4th of July. I think these guys will be going absolutely full lock, and they're going to turn it up to 11 as we get into the final stages of the Toyo Classic. Over $100,000 on the line for this race. Nine laps complete, working lap 10 of the Toyo Classic. Fastest lap so far of the race has been turned by Christopher Haldeman at 2:43.993. A little bit off the qualifying times. They were getting down a little bit further than that. But still a very, very impressive performance. All right, we are looking now for the leaders to come into turn number 12. See what's happening with that top 5. I'm guessing probably another 3 left. Haldeman still out front. Burris right there, staying all over.
Haldeman seemed like he was kind of jumping
Preston
ahead there.
Pardis is going to get a shot at the top 5. Guaranteed next couple laps he'll be right there.
Yeah, he's working his way up. And Preston, another one of our really young drivers.
Oh, car off. Another big, a big move on the inside.
Hey, he found the puddle.
Nice, he found the puddle and it stopped him dead. Nice work.
That must have been a very dense puddle. That looks like car number 29, Craig Berry.
It was probably adamantium, right? So he just got dipped like the Wolverine. That car is indestructible now. All right, turn 19 shot there. We're watching for the leaders to come around. Probably just a couple of laps left here in the Toyo Classic. Haldeman still out front, then Burris, then Stain. Henderson. Preston Pardis starting to catch up to Blake Clements. Blake better keep on it. Think it's time to start turning the wick up, boys. There ain't a whole lot of time left. So it is time to go full Rocky if you haven't already. Here we go down the front straight. Let's see if there's any moves. We have been seeing looks inside. No, I think they're going to be ducks in a row to keep maximum velocity. Wow, real display of driving talent here in the top 5. They have been just right inches from each other, and that is car control, folks. That's how you do it.
You're right about Pardis there, John. I mean, he's kind of out in no man's land in the middle between the 2 packs right now, but if anybody's going to make a move up there, it's going to be him.
I'm sure he's putting a dent in the firewall with the accelerator there. Top 5 right there. Pardis is catching up. Top 10 all within fairly close proximity, so if there is a big mistake up at the pointy end, you could see someone in 7th or 8th place, maybe Ensor or Krickenberger. Even Preston Pardis, a little loose there. Haldeman got loose. Looks like Burris is going to come around the inside. Let's look at turn 9. Yep, he got him. Todd Burris got by Christopher Haldeman. He just got a little bit loose there. Or was that a different group of cars?
Uh-oh.
I think it might have been. Nope, there's our leaders right there. Let's see what's going on through 12.
Well, John, Haldeman, in his first place position, if he is still there, is up 22 positions from where he started. So Preston Pardis is up 21. Those still don't come close to Chris Kapitsky back in 19th place, who's up 26 so far.
Well, there you go. Haldeman is topped out. So he doesn't, in poker we like to call it the wheel, where you have both the high and the low hand.
Right.
So he could have qualified for hard charger and big winner. But you never know.
Well,
It's far from over.
Preston Pardis, even if he gets all the way up into first place, will just be matching Chris Kapitsky in Place's
Haldeman
game.
still out front, then Burris, then Stain. Then
It looks like Stain holding him off pretty well there.
Yep. A little bit of a data error there. Looked like they were all together in one kind of Picasso-esque shot. So it looks like the leaders are going to catch up to the back of the pack here pretty quick. And that's going to be something. So we are looking for that black car of Christopher Haldeman's, then the silver car of Burris, the orange multicolored car of Danny Stain. Look at this. Burris tried around the outside of Haldeman. Let's see what happens coming into 20. And it didn't work. Haldeman's still out front, but Todd Burris is starting to turn it up. We may be only 1 or 2 laps from the end, so it is time to get your swerve on. There's the drone shot showing him coming down the front straight. Pretty awesome shot right there. It is time. I don't see the white out just yet. White flag waving, of course, means 1 lap remaining, so we'll go around at least one more time.
Well, 9 minutes left in this session, John, if we were going to run the full 45, so I'm going to guess we're going to get at least 1 more lap out of it. We are going to have to leave time for a cool-down lap, and this is our first real race of the weekend. So I imagine there might be a victory lap involved, but we do have about 9 minutes left, 8 minutes and 45 seconds now. We'll have to see what happens here. 11 laps they're working on right now.
And it's always time to make the donuts, so might get some
of
those.
That's right.
All right, there you have leaders right now. Coming down through 5 and 6 into 9. We'll watch for that turn 11 shot.
Yeah, and Haldeman's still our fastest driver of the race with his 2:43.993, but Burris and Stain just did their fastest laps, 2:43.37 and 2:44.39. So very close together in their fastest laps as well.
Leaders through. Blake Clemens has fallen way back, and here comes Preston Pardis. Blake Clemens is going to have to work to stay in front of Preston Pardis there, making a big charge up from 6th place to come after Blake Clemens and break into that top 5. All right, well, here come our leaders into turn 11. Haldeman still out front, then Burris and Stain. Henderson, Clements has fallen way back, and here comes Preston Pardis. Clements is out in the paint, and Pardis is all over him.
All right.
I think Preston Pardis is going to make a charge now into the top 5 and try to work his way up into that top 4 group and make a definite run at the podium. Yeah, look at that gap now. Oh, he's by him. He is by him. Preston Pardis just got by Blake Clements, so he is now making his run for the win. Hung back for a little bit, maybe saved some of the car and some of the tires and a little bit of energy, and now he is on it. On, as they say. Here we go, leaders again. Burris looking to the outside a little bit. And we'll see that white car, which is Preston Pardis, putting a ton of... Blake Clements may have a problem because he's starting to fall back big time. Haldeman still out in front, starting to pull away a little bit with Burris from Stain and Henderson. Absolutely fantastic racing all through the grid, but particularly at the front right now. Just working lap 13, 12 completed. Here come the leaders into that first corner. Stain took a look inside of Burris, but he was too far back. He may have just been doing a little sighting there. Here we go, folks. I bet the next time by might be the white flag lap. We are 39 minutes out of 45 scheduled completed. So this may be the final stages of the Toyo Classic. Ooh, Haldeman got a little loose, and Burris was right there. Here comes Pardis. Blake Clements has fallen back a little bit further, so he may have something mechanically wrong with the car.
Oh, you can see Pardis is going for it. Just see him
Pardis
get that little slide into that corner.
Oh, yeah.
There. Yeah, I mean, he is driving at the limit.
He's getting jiggy with it for sure. Preston Pardis making a charge up. He is 22 positions up from where he started, so a definite run through the pack for Preston Pardis. All right, leaders through there. You saw that was Burris making a look to the inside of Haldeman there through turn number 11. So we are getting into the desperate hours here and the final stages of the Toyo Classic. First ever, most lucrative payout in club racing. It's like turn 12, we have a slow car off. The leaders are going to run right into that in a minute. All right, there's your leaders. Haldeman out in front, then Burris, then Stain, then Henderson all together. And here comes Pardis. He's right there, so he is trying to make a charge to make up time lost and end up. Looks like 3 minutes, 2 white flags, so we will get one more lap through if my prediction is correct. So white flag probably next time by. So we have about 3 laps left of the Toyo Classic. So far, very exciting race. Good racing going on all throughout the field, but we are following the leaders right now. This one is for all the marbles. Turn 19, there's Haldeman, there's Burris, there's Stain, and there is Henderson. How far back to Preston Pardis? Still a pretty good gap. He's going to have to wait for a bobble. Ooh, did I see rain? Yep, starting to rain. Starting to rain!
Oh boy, here's where the excitement is really going to start, John.
Oh, it's starting to rain.
You just had to go and wish this on them.
Oh no, I'm sorry, guys. Holy mackerel.
Let the record show.
Let the record show that this is my fault. But Danny Stain loves the rain.
Well, that's okay,
It's like
John.
a poem.
You came through with the jinx, and then
Oh, here it is.
I
Look
came
at
through with
Danny
the super
Stain. He's
jinx.
all over Burris.
He's just rubbing his hands back there in the
Oh,
car,
my
ready to
gosh.
go. Come on, get wet.
Oh, boy, this is going to be exciting. So I guess next time by will be the white, and then one lap to the checker, and it's starting to rain.
It is very light, at least in front of our studios here, John,
it's
so
starting
let's
to come
hope
down.
it stays that way. Oh, boy, we can definitely see it
Top
in our
4,
cameras.
you can see the wipers on there in the top 4. Ooh, this just got really, it was kind of exciting. Now it's really exciting.
Well, you know, also, John, rain means we'll have to land the drone, so I hope it's not so. I hope we can keep the drone up just for the
That would
last
be
couple
cool.
of moments, because our shot looking down on the finish line sure is cool.
All right, turn 11 now. We'll see if that rain changes the order, but this could be what Preston Pardis is hoping for. Maybe a little bit of a difference for those top 4. What an awesome race. A little bit of everything. Yep, we are seeing a bit of a cell coming in from the northeast now. Wind has changed direction, so we are going to get some excitement. It is a big cell coming into the final stages of the Toyo Classic. Watching for the leaders now. Look at the rain coming down. You can see the little silver flecks there, folks. Boy, that couldn't be more exciting. Just imagine getting all the way to the end of the race and then massive condition change.
Yep.
How do you keep a hold of it? Haldeman's still out front, then Burris, then Stain, then Henderson. I don't see anybody loosening up a lot, so it may not be too slippy yet, and the rain may just be hitting and kind of burning off a little bit.
John, I'm looking at the comments here, and the commenters are talking about something about a lead change. I don't know what's going on, but we should look on the track. What's happening here?
Lead.
Yeah, the lead has changed.
Burris just tried the outside of Haldeman there in turn 15, so we're going to have to watch turn 19. I think the drone has been grounded because we are getting some heavier precipitation right now in the final stage. I believe it's white flag.
Yeah,
this
look
time
at that,
by.
John. You could see through that last camera angle that Burris was making a move on Haldeman. They were side by side. It looked like Haldeman was still out front,
There's
staying
19.
in third.
Oh, no, Burris, it's on.
Yep.
It's on like Donkey Kong. So watch right here. Yep. Burris just got inside of Haldeman, moved him off a little bit.
Looks like
Stain
he
is
got
right
him, and
there
the checkered
too.
flag is out.
The checkered is out?
That's what RaceHero.io just said.
Oh, my gosh. I guess the checker is out.
showed
so that must have been
checkered
the
out
white flag lap. Here we come to the end.
And did you see that drone shot past the finish? That was glorious.
Wow. Okay.
Is that the end?
Yeah, looks like
I mean,
Haldeman.
look, I see Burris in front, but the
Yeah, we had a
timer is
little-
showing Haldeman as the winner.
Well,
you know,
but I think we had a little bit of a switching error there, and the drone kind of came in. But
maybe
we are
a
showing,
little bit of a
hey,
delayed shot, but
look,
you know
we're
what
showing
else, John?
everything's done.
You know,
Haldeman won. He wouldn't have his arm out the window if he didn't win. Wow.
You know
what a race.
One thing I'm wondering about here, John, is exactly where the timing loop is. We're gonna have to go research that and find out. But
It's true. It's true.
But boy,
All right, folks.
what a race!
What a race.
What a race!
Christopher Haldeman coming from behind up Not one, not two, but 22 positions to take the win in the Toyo Classic. Now he just has to survive the rigors of the technical inspection shed, and he will be the big winner of the first ever Toyo Classic. Then Todd Burris with a great race. Danny Stain finished where he started, P3, but again, a great race from Danny. He led for quite a while. Brian Henderson was right there. Preston Pardis also up 22 positions.
Whew.
Mounted quite a charge there. Then Peter Inserd, Justin Krickenberger, P7. Justin Casey, Blake Clements, Matthew Dirks, Jim Drago, then Graham Downey, Austin Newmark, Tyler Quantz. P15 belongs to Toby Linder. Then Stephen Powers, Brian Zurek, Dan Williams in P18. Then Brett Gabriel in P19. Chris Kapitsky, I think, is going to be our hard charger.
Yeah,
up
that's our
25
hard charger
positions.
for sure.
Then Hannah Grisham, Jason Canole, Nick Summers, John Sumner, Jamie Close, honoring his brother George. He had a heck of a run, up 22 positions to finish in P25. Then Craig Jansen, Gail Corley, Taylor Hagler, Harry Voigt, and Michael Haddad, P30.
All right, for our last half of the group, Dan McKeever in 31st place, Philip McCammon 32nd, followed by Alan Stubblefield, Paul Perkins, Jesse Singer, James Holloway, David Henderson, Mike Travers, Ryan Roberson, and Mario Jacobellis rounding out the top 40. Now on to 40 through 50, Eric Nemnich, followed by Gregory C. Porter, Charlie Williams, Christopher Schaefer, Danny Suter, Vinny Barada, Ben Rail, Carter J. White, Dennis Holloway, and in 50th position, Craig Berry, and that is also where our DNFs begin. Craig Berry's one of them. Stephen Jew in 51st, Cole Serrallo, 52nd place, Lonnie Unzer, Brian Smith, Trevor McCallion, Danny Sufi was out as well in 56th place, Taylor Ferrante, Alex Alexander, Adam Roberts, and Lee Thomas. Great job by everybody. Everybody fought hard. Not everybody crossed the finish line, but whew, what a race. What a race, ladies and gentlemen.
Outstanding race, and I still couldn't find that guy named Larry. I don't think there were any Larrys out there because that was some pretty impressive driving from all of our drivers in the Toyo Classic. Well done. Next up, we will have our Group E qualifying race, so Group E will be up next. Of course, Group E will be our GTS 3, GTS 4, ST3, and ST4 cars. They will have a qualifying race coming up, have a bit of a course check, take a little break. We'll also be hearing from Rob Klepper down in Impound. He is down there to interview some folks, so we will be talking to Rob for a little bit and talking to some of our important players there in the Toyo Tires Classic. Great race. Thank you so much to Toyo for sponsoring that. To all of our Spec Miata drivers, our safety officials here at COTA, our NASA officials, and everybody that makes this big show possible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Quite a race. Hope it goes down in the history races or in the history books as one of the great races of all time. We'll be back in a little bit. We are at the 2018 NASA Championships presented by Toyo Tires, coming to you from the Circuit of the Americas. Stay tuned.